Hello, welcome to Jovial Wild Campers. Don't forget to subscribe. We're doing a what's in our bag video because literally tens of people have asked for this, for us to put a video up of our bag contents, and I'll explain in more detail what's in our bag a little bit later on. Just pull out on me, why don't you? You fuck. Oh, right, yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll wait for you. I just thought I'd take this opportunity to say the most important thing about wild camping is to leave it as you found it, which in my mind means not making fire, not having a fire unless it can be contained, because you're going to leave a scorch mark on the ground. So with that in mind, we use what's called Highlander jet boil, Highlander fast boil in fact. I'll put a link in the description below. They are brilliant for cooking water fast, cooking your boil in the bag meals, or just generally cooking without leaving any marks or scorch marks on the ground, which is lovely. Not only that, it can be really, really difficult to light a fire. No. Is anyone coming? Because I'm going to look like a right div filming myself. What was that? Hello again. One thing that we don't do when we're out and about is forage for food, but you know, there's so much that you can eat in the wilderness. Obviously there's lots of deadly things not to eat, but there's so many things in the wilderness that you can eat that it just takes a bit of foraging. So let's just have a quick wander around this area. Sometimes just a bit of digging. There we go, look. So there's a chopped chip brunch bar, which is nice. So sometimes just a bit of digging, you know, you can get that. Look, here we go, look. There we go, some delight bites. I can hear it, but I can't see it. It's a bee. It's probably best that we just do a what's in our bag video. Remember, leave it as you found it, and take only photographs, leave only footprints. So I shall see you back in the studio for our what's in our bag video. Hello, it eventually arrived, our what's in our bag video. Now, having laid this out on the table, I've realised that there's a lot of stuff that we take, and all jovialities aside, this is quite serious stuff that you do need, like your water, your waterproofs, your warmth, you know, your food, things like that. So first off, I'll start with the bag. The bag is the here we go, I'm doing that, reading it as I'm saying it. So it's a Euro Hike Revolution Aqua 70. It's a 70 litre bag. What I usually do is I put my food and my fast boil in the top there, and all my cooking stuff, because it stays dry and out of the way. In the bottom half there, I get my sleeping bag and my sleep mat in there. And then in the front there, I've got like my warm things, so I've got like my hat, my gloves, neck scarf, map, things that I need to get to easily and quickly without having to open the rest of it. And then the rest of the stuff that I'm going to show you goes into there. Ends up being about 23 kilos, something like that, when you've added the water. Unfortunately, I've tried looking on Amazon, and if I do find it, I shall put a link in the description below, but just can't get all the lightweight water. I don't know why. So, last thing on the bag, I've got a little clip here. I don't know if you can see that without knocking everything over. It's a clip, and basically that comes off, goes onto the bottom of your camera, whether it be a DSLR, a GoPro, or a bridge camera, or a, you know, any old camera, and then it clicks onto there, and it's there for ready and easy access. That's something that I need to test out this time round. However, the weather forecast does say that it's going to be raining. So looking forward to getting wet again. Last thing on there, just where the strap goes round, you know, your body. It's just a little thing that I just like to have there, which is a little camera bag. However, what I put in there is snacks. just snacks, so I don't have to take my pack off every time I want to get just a little chocolate bar. Snacks go in there, and my mobile goes in there because I use my mobile phone as my GPS unit. View Ranger GPS, it's brilliant. The free one is brilliant, and the we're paid for maps are brilliant as well. Full ordnance survey. There's a little plug there, so hopefully they'll send me something for free. I doubt it very much. Right, so what's in our bag? Right then, let's start off with the Highlander Fast Boil, the thing that I was talking about just a minute ago. Now, the Highlander Fast Boil is just, it's been brilliant for us, you know, it's been field tested now, and as you probably saw on one of the videos, Steve was collecting snow with one of these. He basically just got the jug like that. It's got a neoprene cover on it, Highlander Fast Boil, which is nice. A little heat sink on the bottom there. I would advise to put water in before you switch it on, because it'll heat up this neoprene thing, it'll start melting. There's been lots of people having issues with that. But yeah, just put water in it first. It's pretty simple, straightforward stuff. So yeah, there's your cup. What I tend to do is get my food bag, I'll fold it up, put the food bag in, then put the water in. Not fill it too much so it doesn't bubble over and boil. However, you do have a lid which goes on, and that stops it from bubbling out, going all over your tent or all over your gear and things like that. Little lid, it boils, I don't know, I think I timed it 2 minutes 40 seconds, which is about 10 seconds quicker than my electronic kettle in the kitchen at the moment. The little bottom half there has got one of those, and it just screws on to the top of your gas canister, like so. Yeah, just nice and easy like that. Like so, on it goes, and there you go, there's your gas canister. That clicks on to there quite nicely, it's lovely. You know, you can carry it around like that. And just for added stability, I also bought one of these. Now it looks like that when it arrives, and it literally just clicks out and clicks out and clicks out, and then your gas canister, it's held in place, just like this. It's quite a tight fit, which is a good thing, and then that basically, that stops it from falling over when you're on uneven ground, on a fell or on rocks and things like that. It really does make a massive difference. So yeah, the way that we cook is very, very, very lightweight. I mean, there's probably people out there that have got it a lot more lightweight than I have. But we seem to find that this works really well, especially when you lose stuff. Here. So it actually comes with this little bit of cardboard in the packaging, which I've decided to keep. Now the reason for that is because when I'm hiking and walking around, I don't want rattling and, you know, things bouncing around and things, so I just basically just pop it in like that, and then that apparently stops it from rattling around. And then, you know, you can get that in there, which is out of the way. And then we also bought a cup. Now again, I'll put the link in the description below of where I got this. Now this is a cup, believe it or not, and it just pops out like that. So it saves space, it's light, it's squidgy, it's lightweight as anything, and not only that, it fits quite nicely into the top of the fast boil carton. So we do that, we get the lid back on again. That all goes into this little netting that handles fold away. This all goes into the netting that is ace. Let's check this out. Right, let's do this right first time. This actually comes with it when it arrives. I mean, I'm not quite sure how long it'll last, but there's just enough room at the top of the netting to get one of your gas canisters in. There we go. So that compacts away quite nicely, and that goes in the top half of my bag as I described earlier, which is quite nice. I always take 2 gases, but to be fair, this one here has lasted. We did Bowfell, Scarfell, and Paviark wild camping, and this has lasted. There's not that much left in it, but I've got another one just in case, so it's always cool to take 2, although you'll be more than adequate if you've got 1. So yeah, that's the cooking system. So let's pop that down there. So while we're on the cooking side of things, let's talk about food. Now, as you saw there in the bag, I've got snacks, things that I can grab quite easily as I'm walking around. I think that's quite important, just to take away the fatigue, or if your sugar levels drop, or anything like that. I do like to take a couple of tins of mackerel in tomato sauce. Now you can either pop those in the water and boil them up, or you can eat them cold. I think it's important to have a backup. If you can only cook food and then your gas doesn't work, then it's quite important that you can eat the food cold as well. So we do use these. This is quite expensive for what they are. This one's the beans and sausages. And like I say, all I do is I just fold that up quite nicely and then just pop that in to the fast boil, pour the water on and then let that boil for 7 minutes. And these are the Wayfarer, the real food for the great outdoors. There's not much in there. We usually tend to eat 2 in one sitting, and they're about £5 a pack. So, and we usually take about 4 with us on every trip, and they're quite weighty actually. So I don't know whether we're going to try to do possibly dehydrated food. It's going to be a lot lighter, but it does mean obviously we'll use a lot more water. Coffee sachets, now that's literally just a cappuccino, dry cappuccino. It's got the milk and the coffee and the sugar. You can have them without sugar, and that just makes life a lot easier. Once you've boiled up your water that you're cooking your food in, you take your food out and then you use the boiled water to make a cup of coffee. So there's no wastage of gas, no wastage of water, and it's quite important to sort of sort that out as well. Now I've put these in these little dry bags. Again, this is more just for convenience and organisation, because I like to be quite organised, and I've written on it food, snacks, energy gels, everything, so I know that when I grab that out, that's the bag that I need. Just wrote it on there. I don't know if you can see it, but I just wrote it on in Sharpie, so I might get some free Sharpies now. So yeah, food sorted. What next? Right, spare clothes. Again, organised. Spare clothes are in here. I promised myself I wouldn't do this. Kind of, everyone does that in the reviews. Yeah, this is a beauty. No, this is just literally a bag, a dry bag again, very similar to that one. You can get dry bags anywhere from £2 a bag to £30 a bag. I suggest you spend a little bit more money on the dry bag, because the dry bags that are cheap aren't really dry bags, they're just kind of sacks. So in here I've got the thermal trousers, spare socks, hat and a fleece, literally just in case I get totally soaked to the bone. But because it's really soft, I can use this as a pillow as well, which is perfect, because I like a good pillow. That's that one done. Storm shelter! Now I've never had to use this, thank God. It's the Mountain Warehouse storm shelter. It cost, I think I got it on Amazon for about £16-17, and I think they're about £39 in store. So it's always good to shop around. It's got a little window in there, it fits 2 men, it's brightly coloured just in case you do get stuck on the fells. Now, we've never needed to use it, as I've said, but the day I don't take it is the day I'll need it, so this always comes out with me. Always, always, always. I think it's really important to have something to keep you warm and dry should one of you break a leg, fall over, or just get stuck in a storm, because it's very, very easy to happen in the Lake District or up in the Highlands of Scotland. The weather can change like that. So yeah, there's one of them. Dry trousers. I think we're going to need these on our next expedition. These are the Sprayway Hydra Dry pants. They've kept me dry, obviously. If they didn't, then I'd be sending them back. Sprayway Hydra Dry, and I just bob these over my normal walking trousers. There's a little zip at the bottom which helps me get them on over my shoes. So there you go, a little zip at the bottom helps you get them over your shoes if you've got massive boots on, and then you can fasten that quite tightly around your ankle to then put some gators on to stop obviously it all getting wet and up in your shoe, which is always good. So yeah, they just nicely roll up inside the side pocket of my bag, so again they're easy to get hold of. I think it's important again that things that you're going to need pretty quickly in a downpour, or you get cold or you're hungry, are easy to get hold of. You don't want to be ragging your bag off every 2 minutes, because that's just hurts your shoulders. So there's the waterproof trousers. Now I've got a little bit of a survival bag. Now a lot of people use those little first aid kits. They're fine, but it's just literally plasters, a bandage, some scissors. You pay a stupid amount of money for what is literally already in your cupboard at home. So in here I've got a few emergency blankets, done it again. A sleep mat repair kit, because that's self-inflating. A tent repair kit, which has got a little pole in there to help just in case it breaks in the wind. Some water sterilising tablets, just in case you need to drink from a town if you run out of water. I wouldn't suggest drinking from a town, but maybe a source of water where you can see that there's no dead animals at the top of it. A laser pen, just because it's cool. And that's about it. Some paracetamol for the fell hangovers, and obviously for painkillers. A spare I think this is important, this, a spare buckle. Because if that buckle goes there, it shouldn't, but if that buckle goes there, that's taking all the weight of your bag, all the weight will be on your shoulders. If you've still got 10 miles to walk, it's going to be pretty nasty. So take a spare buckle, just in case. Some plasters, a spare lighter, and a whistle. I'm not going to blow that because it's pretty loud. That's the Life Systems whistle. I got that from the local camping shop, Shevin Trek, which is in the centre of Otley where I live. And then a couple of energy tab things there, but usually what I'll do with my water drinking system is I will pop an energy tab in one of them and then just write on the bottle energy drink, so then I know which one's the energy drink and not to cook my beans in energy drink. So that's that. We also carry a walkie-talkie. Now this is just the Binatone Action 1100, so the Action 1100, say it properly. And literally we just use these just in case. If one of us falls down, then we can switch to the radios on. Yeah, I'm fine. Oh no, I've broken a leg. You don't have to do this, but we think that it's important for us to keep in contact with each other should we lose each other at some point. They've got 3 kilometre range, which probably means in real terms about 8 metres. So, but they've been great for us so far. We've luckily never had to use them in a safety aspect, but they work perfectly fine. I quite like taking that. It's cool. So we take that. Now a light. Now everyone needs a light. Everyone needs a torch. This is a torch. So it's a spotlight torch. You see on the back wall there. And this is the best bit. It's also a lantern. It's a lantern, guys. It's spring loaded. This is beltingly light in the tent. I don't know if you saw, we did a few photographs with the tents lit up at night time when we did a couple of shots, and this illuminated the tent ridiculously brightly. So, and it's really, really lightweight. It's got a little hook there so you can hang it in your tent. I usually tend to hang it on the strap system on the tent, which is all good. Excellent. Hand warmers, just disposable ones, because these are a lot lighter than the non-disposable ones. They work perfectly fine. They last about 4 hours in reality. What I tend to do is when we sit outside the tent taking photographs, I'll shove them in my gloves or in my pocket or in my shoes. It's quite important to keep my feet warm. And then, I don't know, an hour before we go to bed, I'll just throw a couple in the sleeping bag. Again, just makes it a little bit toasty, a little bit more comfortable and warm. Tissues. Call of Nature, these are the softly ones, so they're nice and smooth on your derriere. Self-explanatory. Spork. Spork. It's, as it says on the tin, it's a fork and a spoon, and then there's a knife there, but I'm not 100% sure how you'd use the knife without using another spork to hold it, to cut it, so I don't know, a bit of a design fail there. And it's the Light My Fire spork from Go Outdoors, and it costs about £2. If that. Right, what else? A little tripod. It's the iGadgets one. It costs about £4 off Amazon. And I usually pop my GoPro on there when we're setting up the tents. You've probably seen some of the fast videos that we've done of setting up his tent really quickly. That's not real time, obviously. So we'll bang that on there. Weighs nothing. It's ounces. That's that. Wallet. I always take a separate wallet because the wallet that I use at home has got receipts in it, it's got cards in it, it's got all sorts of membership club cards and things like that. So literally all we do is just bang his driving licence and his credit card in there just in case we need it. But there's always a bit of cash in there just in case we need it. We don't ever need it. That usually gets spent on our massive breakfast that we have on the way there. But yeah, important that you have a spare wallet and then at least you know you've always got one. Gloves. I have got a lot of stuff in my bag. Gloves. I'm going through this as quickly as I possibly can as well. It's the Zena Gore-Tex gloves. I use these skiing at Christmas. Ridiculously warm. I think it's important as well when you get gloves that there's a little bit of a gap in the end. The guy in the shop was telling me that if there's a little gap in the end, it retains heat better because it lets the air flow. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. And it zips up there, so you can get it on quite nicely, and it zips up to create a nice little seal around your wrist. Put your coat over there, and literally it got down to about -2, and these were so warm. They were lovely. Excuse me. So yeah, pair of those. Hat, essential. Just a thin chelate one from the camping shop. I look like an idiot in a hat, so I tend not to wear them wherever I don't need them, but it's not a fashion show in the fell. So yeah, my head's cold, I'll go to sleep in this, or we'll sit outside with these on, listening to music, things like that. So that's the hat. Neck warmer, it's nice and soft, that's really lovely, in fact. It's nice. The neck warmer is literally as it is, it just goes around your neck and you can pull it up and over your nose should your face get warm. So that combined with a hat means that your eyes will be out, which obviously you need them to see. So that's pretty cool. Oh, that's the Eagle Eye. It was a cheap thing, it was like £4 on Amazon. There's a picture of a rabbit or a squirrel or something, Eagle Eye. It does its job, you know. Sometimes you don't have to spend lots of money. Sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't. What else? Right, here we go, sleeping. So this here is one of the cheap, again, it's the Ridge Rest 25 from Go Outdoors. It actually comes rolled up, which makes it this long, which for me is a bit much. So you let all the air out, you kneel on it, fold it up in half, and it actually becomes pretty much the size of one of those pack lights. It's not as lightweight as a pack light, obviously, but it is a full body one. It's 6 foot, nearly 7 foot long, so it's the length of the tent. I've always had a great night's sleep on this, and I mean at home I sleep on a memory foam bed. When I'm in somebody else's bed, not like that. When I'm in someone else's bed, I'm staying over at a mate's house, I always wake up with bad neck and things like that. But with this and the clothes thing as a pillow and my amazing sleeping bag, which I'll show you in a second, it's a great little combo. Important to keep yourself off the ground. You lose a lot of heat from the ground, and your head obviously, but the ground thing is very important. So that's that. Sleeping bag. Now this is my massive winter one. I don't know why I cuddled it. It's the winter one. It's the Mountain Warehouse Summit 300. It says it goes down to -4, extreme temperature -18. I wouldn't like to be in it if it was -18. I'd probably be fully clothed and wanting my mum or something if it was -18 in that. But you know, we've taken that down to maybe -1, -2, and been totally comfortable in it. I'm very happy with it. It's not my summer one. I think I've got I've got another one for summer, which we'll talk about summer kit. This is generally sort of winter kit, if you like. So yeah, it does its job. It's a mummy sleeping bag. It keeps me warm. Mountain Warehouse Summit 300. They're about £40. Well worth the spend. It's synthetic material, not down. The same bag as down would be lighter and be bigger, but would be much warmer and much more expensive. You triple the price, you know, for a bag of this warmth in down. So again, buy what you need. Don't just get what I've got. Buy what you need. This is 1.7 kilograms, whereas the down will probably about 2. So it's not a massive difference in it, but it does make a massive difference when you add it all together. So yeah, that's the sleeping bag. Sorted. Map. This is just an ordnance survey map of the Lake District area that we're going to, which is the Langdales. It's waterproof, it's brilliant. We've never had to use it, but it's nice to know that you've got it just in case. I think map skills are essential, and a compass. Map and compass are very essential, just in case you do get lost. We do use the GPS, which is on the phone. Like I said, it's a View Ranger GPS. We tend to download the satellite maps, and then we know exactly where we go, and we can plot the route, and we can follow the waypoints, which is ace. So yeah, map. Next is the camelback. Now what I've done is a camelback comes in like a bag that you can wear on your back. We sometimes do that when we're cycling or running and things like that, but it makes it a lot smaller if you take it out of its pouch and out of the bag. Now it's about 2 litres, I think this. Yeah, it's a 2 litre camelback. They're not cheap. But well worth the money. You don't want the bag exploding all over all your gear. Again, which is why it's important that you've got dry bags, just in case that does happen. But this is rough. It's been thrown down on the floor many times and it stayed in one piece. So yeah, that's our water system, and I generally use that just for drinking as we're walking, and it will all go. It will all go. And then probably just have it because it's there. I'll drink it. On the side of that, what I basically do with the camelback, that down, is I pop that into this dry bag, It looks massive, but you know, it falls down, you know, it's nothing, you know, absolutely nothing, but I'll put that in the dry bag just in case it does burst. All the water's going to stay in there and not cover all my gear, which is all good. So that's that. Now, next most important thing for any fell walker is this. Now, it's just a little bag that goes over your shoulder there, and then there's a little hydration system that pops out. Now, this is when once you've camped up, once you've set up your tent and you're chilling out, you get that, nice. And there's not a hydration system. This is wine. Wine, beer, spirits, whatever you want to put in here. It's again this is just a cheap one. I didn't want to put wine in a camelback because I don't know how that would react. I think this one again cost me about a tenner. It's 3 litres, so I could have, in a sense, 3 litres of wine in there. Oh no, I'm wrong, it's 2 litres, but 2 litres of wine is pretty much 2.5 bottles of wine. I wouldn't recommend drinking 2.5 bottles of wine on a fell, Stephen. I got a bottle and a half in here, more than happy with it. I drank it all. I was a little bit disappointed when it ran out, to be fair, but you live and learn. So yeah, that again, for the same reason I don't want water going all in my bag, I also don't want wine covering all my stuff, so I'll pop that into a dry bag. I also write the word wine on it. It's got a little carrier thing, it's not essential. This is just a cycling drinking bottle. I got it from the cycling store in Ockley, Chevy Cycles. There's a plug, maybe I'll get a free bike. And basically I just use this to wee in. It's got a large opening. So it just means you're not going to pee all over your tent. You'd have to get out and get cold again. I think it's essential to mark this as it's a pee bottle and not to drink it in the middle of the night. I think you need a pee bottle. It's very, very important that you get a pee bottle and make sure it doesn't leak. Once you've weed in it, you know, you can tip it out somewhere, but you know, generally not near a water source. Nobody wants to be drinking your wee. Or if it's sealed bottle, just take it home with you and pour it down the toilet when you get home or down a drain. So that's that. In here, this is actually the bag for my warm jacket. This is my warm jacket, and this packs down to that size. This is generally what I put on when we've stopped walking. I won't walk in this, it's far too warm to walk in. It's the Craghoppers coat, I think it was 49 quid. I got it from a store in Lake Windermere, or not in Lake Windermere because that would be a wet store. I got it from a store in Windermere. And again, there's no code on it, it's just a Craghoppers coat. You know, it's blue and it's really, really warm. I would recommend that highly. You know, I've not tried a down jacket yet, but this does its job. And until I get too cold, then I might look at getting maybe a down jacket for the cold nights. So in here I've got a Mountain Warehouse waterproof jacket. I'm not taking it out because it will take forever to get back in again. I generally walk in this and put that coat in here. The reason this coat's in here this time is because this was packed away, the other coat was packed away because it was so warm. We didn't need any coats. In fact, I didn't even need this jumper. It was just our base layers that we wore. About 17 degrees upon PBR, which is unheard of. So yeah, that's the waterproof coat, just to keep me dry. So the waterproof coat, waterproof trousers, everyone's a winner. So next, water. It's not colour coded for any reason, apart from they only had 2 blues and a red left. You can colour code them and put different things in them if you want. Maybe that one's fell water that needs boiling, and this one's just fresh water. I've written on this one, you won't be able to see it, energy drink. That's the one that is just, yeah, it's just like a sugary drink, like a cyclist would have. It just adds to your endurance levels. Usually don't. Well, I usually took 3 of these, but Steve took out 2 of them. Probably saved me about 2 or 3 kilos in weight. Because, like I say, you can't get all the lightweight water, unfortunately. But you know, if you drink a lot, I drink a lot. Then it's important to take enough water to keep you going. Walking stick. Now, it's a difficult one, is this, because you can get carbon fibre, super light, super strong, things like that, and I can't knock any of them. But this one I have found to work for me. It's anti-shock and Uncle Shock. Sorry, it's anti-shock, and it hasn't even got a brand on it or anything. It's just called anti-shock on, anti-shock off, which is clearly not the brand. But the reason I got this is because there's a mount on top of it for a camera, and I usually put the GoPro on this, or you can actually mount the DSLR and you've got a bit of a monopod going on. I also wrapped it in the tape that you can get for tennis rackets or golf clubs, and that just makes it nice and comfortable. It's got a little handle there, so when you're going down you can push down on it, or you can hold it down to let yourself down. The stick is essential. It was something that I never thought I would ever need, and thought it was only for wusses. But it just really helps. It helps you get up a hill, it helps you get down the hill, it stops you from falling. If you're going across a stream and you need to just, stop yourself from falling, it's brilliant. Really, really, really good. You've probably seen some of the videos us using them to stop us from falling. Camera, obviously, take a camera. Now, I'm a professional photographer. I'm stood in my studio now. I have got quite a lot of decent cameras and lenses. 5D Mark II, 60D, 50D, 40D, 5D. Lenses coming out my ears, 17 to 40L, 70 to 200L, 28 to 70. There's so many lenses that I could take, but because it's my job and I run my own business, I really, really, really don't want to be taking my expensive cameras with me, especially if I fall in water, it rains, my bag leaks, my water leaks, anything like that. I just worry about the cameras constantly. And if I've got a wedding the next day, I really need all my gear to work. So I went out and bought a Canon 50D. I've explained in another video about the Canon 50D, and we'll probably do some tutorials on how we're photographing stuff in the next video when we're out camping. Now the Canon 50D is a crop sensor DSLR with, it's just as good as most of the DSLRs out there. I'm a little bit funny when it comes to quality of stuff, and I know what a decent camera and a decent lens can do, and there's just little things that a lot of other people wouldn't notice. But just so then I know that I can drop this and replace the lens or replace the shutter or anything like that, or buy another one. They're really cheap. MPB Photographic is where I get all my second-hand gear from, and this I think you can pick it up for about 90 quid now, which is a steal. It's the same price as a bridge camera, a really high quality bridge camera, and it's far superior to it. And obviously then the lens is down to personal preference. You can go for full wide, or you can go for a zoom lens. Again, personal preference. It's a crop sensor, so all of the full sensor lenses will fit, and all of the crop sensor lenses will fit. So if you wanted to build up your full frame lenses, then you can do, and then eventually move to full frame. You'd have to buy a bunch load of new lenses. The lens I've got on here is just the cheap 18 to 135 kit lens. It does its job. You can get wide and you can get long to a certain degree. It's not brilliant at either wide or either long, but it documents our times out. We can get some pretty nice shots. Most of the shots that you can see on our videos are taken with this little system here. A couple of filters that we forgot to take last time. There's a graduated filter there, graduated grey, and then a polarising filter, and that's just, without going into too much detail, polarising filter just helps you see through water, if that makes sense. It takes the shine off of things. And again, we'll probably discuss that in a bit more detail. 8GB camera, 8GB card, and a few spare batteries. The cold kills batteries. It really, really does. So make sure you take that. This is a little neoprene case, Optica neoprene case. Again, it's just about space saving. It's a little bit padded, and it's all right. It looks like a bit of a jock strap, but yeah, the whole thing for me is just perfect. It keeps the bulk down in the bag, and it stops me having to constantly have it in the bag. I can have the strap out and have it over my neck. However, obviously I can have it attached to that system there, so it just hangs there if I need it for quick release, and then I can use it, which is brilliant. Gouge bag, a couple of lens cleaning cloths, a cloth there for cleaning my face, wiping myself, keeping myself dry, and then a gouge bag with just various batteries, GoPro spares, a rechargeable battery so that we can plug our phones into there, our GPS into there, our wireless speakers into there. Steve uses a wireless speaker, and I think that pretty much covers everything that I've got in my bag. We obviously use thermals, thermal trousers, thermal tops, which is important at night time. Probably don't walk in them. We made that mistake last time. You get too warm, too sweaty, and as good as they are for getting rid of the sweat, they are still far too sweaty to keep on during the day. And again, comes back to what your mum and dad used to say, you won't feel the benefit if you put them on at first. So yeah, there's the thermals. That's all my gear. It's not an in-depth review about the gear that I use, but it certainly gives you an idea of the amount of things that I take with me. The next part of the video and the last part of the video is going to be me putting it all back into the bag, but it's going to be sped up a little bit so then you don't get bored. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe wherever the subscribe button is. I'm not sure. It's not down there. It's not there. It's probably there. Or it might be there. I'm not sure. Anyway, thank you.